Hey, everybody. I am Lauren Kalil alongside founder of the first Phorm Monster Games, Jason Ansley. And we are getting hyped up because it's qualification time. It's time
Yay.
to start the workouts and get ready because this season is going to be awesome, Jason.
Yeah, we're so excited. So we're entering year 7, and it's been a wild ride. And this year is a little bit different as we have a qualifier for everybody. So that's one of the things that we're introducing this year that's new. It's been super exciting since we launched. It's very busy, lots of traffic, lots of signups. So we're really excited about how that turned out.
So, for some people who don't know, what is the intent or purpose of having these qualifiers versus how you've done it in years past?
So when we first started out, so a long time ago, we were teams of 4 when we started. Of course, in your gym, you kind of launched one of those competitions to buy some new bikes for the gym or whatever, and it grew into something that was very unique. And once we got to the point that I wanted to add in like an elite division for individuals, the only way that I felt like it made sense to do that is to have people qualify, and that way they get slotted in the division that they competed in the qualifier in. So we did that 2 years ago. We only did individuals. We did that for 2 years in a row, and then we got to the point that my waiting list to get in was well exceeding the number of slots we had available. So it's a competition. It's not CrossFit class, right? So we don't have to allow everybody to do something. I want people to earn their spot here. I don't hand out invites. That's really important to us. So in the nature of knowing that it's a competition, not that we're mean people, we want the right people here competing, and we feel like you have to earn your way. So the best way to do that is to create a qualifier. So we're not leading some of those people who are trying to get in out. We're giving them an opportunity. Like, if you're fit enough to get the monster, you should be able to be here. So that's why.
Well, and I think another reason, especially for people who might not be familiar with any type of competition or event, logistics plays a huge factor into making sure that an event is successful, both for folks like you and me, but the athlete. So, kind of speak to how logistically this will help for the experience for those who might be interested in qualifying.
Well, really, so if you've competed a lot before, you understand how competitions run. There's so much behind the scenes that it takes to put it on. You might see me the day of the competition, and my job is to make sure the event runs smooth up into the point of the competition. And then it's up to the athletes and understanding what to do, times to get called out for heats, making sure our judges are doing the right thing, making sure athlete control is there. And so bringing athletes in that have earned their way to get here, the chances are they've probably competed before. And that does allow us to do things that we can't do if we're running a competition that is just kind of a more like a Festivus games where everybody can come and try and get your experience. That's not really who we are. We do have a scaled division, but even that has to do a qualifier. So it plays a role because most of the people, I would say 95% of the people competing, they're not competing for the first time. And as an event director, you can speak differently into what the weekend's going to look like because you're dealing with athletes who've been there before.
Okay, so then let's talk about all of those little nitty-gritty details that athletes might not know yet. We want to communicate that.
Yeah.
So the qualifiers, they start this coming Friday on the 2nd, and then take us through exactly what will happen starting on Friday.
So everybody that is signed up, they're going to get an email, and it's going to have the workouts for their division. It's going to have the equipment that's required. It's going to have their video requirements, and it's going to have um, basically your movement flow, which is really important because everything is a little bit different. All of these questions are going to be answered. We spend a lot of time like going through and understanding, if I was going to do this workout, which I've done all of the workouts, how would I do it, and what is important for the athletes to know. So all of that's going to get emailed out to them at 7 o'clock in the morning on Central Standard Time on Friday morning. They're going to have those workouts. All of them are coming out at the same time, and they're going to have 11 days and 12 hours to complete all of those workouts and get their scores in. So we tried to catch 2 weekends. I don't like giving a ton of time for qualifier workouts, but at the same time, I also know that people are busy and they travel. We're just outside of the Open. We just finished Wodapalooza and the Fittest Experience and Fittest on the Coast. Like, I get all of it. People are tired. You've worked a lot of those, so you kind of understand. So my goal was give everyone workouts that could be completed in a weekend if they wanted to. They're not abusive to you. They can be done in a weekend, but give people 2 weekends in order to get them done. So we try to catch 2 weekends on the calendar to do that, and I think we accomplished that. We've bounced around with different dates and doing it the years past, and I think we've kind of landed on a way that does include everybody. And if you're going to miss that first weekend, you still have time to get the workouts in.
And similar to the CrossFit Open, for example, there aren't certain windows or restrictions where athletes need to submit workout number 1 in this window.
Right.
You can do them in any order and almost repeat them as many times as you want until the deadline, correct?
That's correct. And we have done windows before in the past because, again, I personally like that. I like putting pressure on the athlete, but it's not conducive to general sign up numbers. And, like, I'm not the CrossFit Games, so I can't dictate when you have to do a workout. So I did learn that. We've done that before in the past. And through a lot of really good feedback from the athletes, we listen. We're like, hey, I want to do this, but like hitting these windows, like I work, I've got 2 kids, I'm a firefighter, I work on the weekends. So we've taken all that into account and decided to release all the workouts at once. You can do them in whatever order that you want. You can do them as many times as you want. You can upload your score. It's a blind leaderboard. Nobody's going to know what you got on that workout if you're not sharing it. So that's something I'm very adamant about. I think sometimes people redo workouts because, if you're knowledgeable in what you're doing, you can quickly look at the leaderboard. And even if you don't recognize, you can start to see trends, right? Okay, this is the highest and this is the lowest. You can start to see where the median scores are. And you're like, oh man, my score is not hitting that median range. I have to redo it. That kind of drives me crazy, and I prefer you guys to put your best foot forward early and often, and that's why we do a blind leaderboard. Plus, I think it just adds a little bit to the mystery.
Yeah, it adds some drama, which
It does.
for a competition, it adds for some good storytelling. But
Right.
so the athletes will never be able to see the scores until the leaderboard is finalized. Is that
That's
correct?
correct. Yeah. Well, not finalized. Once 7 o'clock hits on the 12th, 7 o'clock p.m. hits on the 12th, you're going to see where you're at. Now, those are not official, right? We
Mm.
still have to do video review and all of those things, but you're at least going to know where I fell, right? You're going to have an idea. Am I inside the cut line? Am I outside the cut line? You're going to know immediately that that cut line is going to be released that night.
And so with that, if people have not registered right at the get-go, they still have time to register up until when?
I mean, technically speaking, you can wait and register at 6:59 if you get your registration in 6:59 p.m. on the 12th. You're just not going to get a lot of the data sent to you. And look, if you're good at CrossFit, like, you don't have to have it. Like, I get it. I'm one of those people that when I sign up for qualifiers, I know what a workout is. Unless it's really weird or it's a team workout, I can figure it out. I know how to do it right. So that's fine. You are going to miss out on some data back and forth and some communication that we use via email because, we treat email like you're part of the family. It doesn't need to
Mhm.
be spoken socially on social media for the whole world to know. There's some things I like to direct independently to my athletes that I don't necessarily need social media to know. So you'll miss that. But yes, technically speaking, you can sign up until that evening.
So what should people expect on Friday when that initial email goes out?
You're going to get separate emails with every workout. So it's possible that you signed up for, I want to try to compete elite in the RX division. And if I don't make that cut, I got a buddy and we're going to do it team, right? So it's possible that you're signed up in elite division and you're signed up in team. So you would get 2 emails for every workout. Even though those workouts are the same, it's also possible to sign up for an RX spot and an intermediate spot. Now, those workouts are different. That's probably one of the most confusing things is making sure you're performing the workout and entering the score for the division that you signed up for and that you're trying to qualify for.
So it's not just one massive leaderboard that then decides
Yep.
what division you're in. You will decide which one you're trying to compete in, and you can sign up for more than one.
You can, and there, there's not a perfect way to do these. Obviously, I mean, I've done qualifiers for 12 years, and I'm not seeing the best way to do it. I know for us and what we're trying to accomplish, if I just make one leaderboard, the problem with that is I can't test the elite. How am I going to know if you're elite if you're
Mhm.
competing in the same leaderboard as intermediates? Because then I can't test certain things in qualifiers that I need you to be able to do to show up for the championship and be able to do. So we separate those out. We make if you're an RX or elite athlete or not. If you're a really good intermediate athlete, we've got some that I encourage. Hey, sign up for the RX and try it, and then also sign up for intermediate. There's nothing wrong with that. You guys can do that. It's not crazy expensive to do it, and I think it's good.
So 5 total workouts over the course of 2 weekends, we'll say it that
Correct.
way. 6 total scores. One of the biggest questions that I've seen on the Instagram page is, if I am on a team with you, Jason, do we need to be in the same location? And the answer is no. So
So
just 2 separate scores.
yeah, they're individual workouts. So you and I can be partners. You're in Syracuse, I'm in Joplin. We can be partners. If I'm the team captain, what's going to happen is we're going to do the workouts. You're going to give me your score. I'm going to log into competition quarter. I'm going to put my score in. I'm going to upload the video link. If we're going to do it elite and RX, and Lauren, you and I would be doing it elite. We could make elite, right?
Hell yeah, baby.
So we those scores,
Everyone watch out.
we would enter that video link for mine, and then I would have your score and your video link, and then there's a slot in competition score for me to enter yours as well. And it's that simple.
When you look at how you've done this in past years and, athletes coming forward with questions or things you've seen athletes make mistakes on, whether it's submitting their scores, submitting their videos, is there like a piece of advice or something that you can give to people who might want to not ask the question and just do it right the first time?
Oh, you're asking me to get on a soapbox now, because when we deal with the number of athletes, the things we see is just all I can say is this: if you're someone if you have to submit a video and you're trying to compete in the elite or the RX division for team or individual, a judge is going to be watching your video. So the more you make that judge do and turn their computer sideways and have to search for the clock, and the more you make them do, the more irritated they're going to be. They're humans. So they're going to be irritated when they're judging you. If you will take a few minutes, set your camera up right, make sure you've said your name clearly, make sure if you've got load on the barbell that it's clearly being shown, slow down, get all of that stuff done. The judge that's watching that video is quickly going to be able to get that data, gather it, and then they're ready to watch your video, and they're not already irritated. That's just human nature, and it sounds bad to say that, but we're humans. So slow down a little bit and just do it right, and make sure your camera's turned the right way. Make sure all of those things look good and they're in frame. Don't leave it to the judge to guess what you're doing, because I can tell you they've been instructed to err on the side of you didn't do it right.
And all of those details are going to be in the email if you register in advance, correct?
Correct.
If people are watching in this and they are on the fence whether they think this competition is right for them or not, what is your word of advice or message to let people know, is Monster Games right for them?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I'm going to give you an answer that most event directors probably wouldn't. I'm going to say it's hard. Like, Monster Games is hard, and I'm proud of the fact that we make it hard. I don't want it to be easy. It's a competition. I want you to question whether or not you can do it, and then I want you to do it anyway. I want you to try it anyway. I want you to surprise yourself. If we don't ever do things that are difficult, like, what are we doing here? So I am not one of these people that lives with margin. I live right out on the edge, and I expect my athletes to do the same. And that's really the only piece of advice that I can give is, like, if you're questioning it, I say do it. Good. I'm glad you're questioning it. That means I've made you nervous, and that's my goal.
And it's a great check-in. I think that the timing of this is perfect because it's just a couple weeks before the Open that,
Yeah.
you don't need to make a decision right now when you're signing up. Just do it. check in, see where you're at. When
Yep.
can people expect the next like form of communication once they're done with the qualifiers and knowing if they will punch a ticket to Monster Games?
So I have a team of judges that are going to review our videos. So once 7 o'clock hits and that leaderboard is finalized, we go to work. Like that's when our real work starts because we take it very serious. So I'm not going to tell you whether they're going to watch all the videos or whether they're going to watch 2 workouts. Like you're going to have no idea, but I can tell you that everything is going to be checked. And if you try to slide a video in that you didn't stay, like that will get caught. So we will be notorious. We're notorious for grabbing that stuff, and we're also fair. It's like, hey, do you have something? You're in a qualifying spot. This video is not good. Is there another angle of this? Like, what do you have that can show us this? Like, we're not Gestapos, but we just ask that you do it right so we can make the right decision that the right person is showing up. So we take about 10 days to get through the individual videos. And at the same time, if you're not submitting the video, you had to have somebody judge you. You had to put their name down. You had to put their email address down. They're going to receive an email. They have 48 hours to confirm that your score is accurate. Once that's confirmed, then your scores are validated and you're good. Very similar to the Open, how the Open works. If you do it in an affiliate, same type of a process. For videos, obviously it takes longer. We try to get that done in 10 days. So February 22nd, roughly, we're going to have everything done. Invites will go out. First round of invites will go out for everybody that qualified. You're going to have 48 hours to accept or decline. We get those accept or declines out. Second round of invites go out. We backfill all of the spots. As soon as that's done, team invites go out. So if you're somebody that qualified for individual and team, you have a decision to make. Do I want to go individual or do I want to go team? And you're going to have to decide individual first. So just so everybody is clear on that, individual invites will go out first, and then you'll have the opportunity to accept your team second.
Jason, anything else that you want to let the community and athletes know before we kick off the qualifiers?
I think the engagement that I've seen so far is great. Our monster community is amazing. I'm humbled every year at the people that do it and the nice things that they say. And like I said, I don't pull any punches. I want it to be hard. And I think if I'm transparent with that, nobody will be upset with me. And I think if I try to pretend like it's something that it's not, that's when people get frustrated. So we do the best we can to test as hard as we can because we want to tell people that we are the end of season competition for those of you that did not qualify for the CrossFit Games. So if we're going to be that, then we need to test you the same way. And that's all we're trying to accomplish.
It's going to be an exciting year. Jason Ansley, thank you so much for sitting down with us. If you're watching us now, make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel because this is where we're going to be posting updates and content leading up to Monster Games, as well as from the site on location with all of the athlete highlights, also on Instagram. So stay tuned. Good luck to all of the athletes, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.